So YouTube have just emailed me and told me that I'm monetized, which is great because I only started my channel 6 weeks ago. So there's the email they sent me. Here's my watch time. I'm kind of shocked at how well this has worked. I started a new YouTube channel to see how fast I could get monetized and documented the whole process. So in this video, I'm going to show you just how that happened, as well as this. All of these emails are from brands reaching out to do a sponsorship on the channel, which is just bonkers. Growing a YouTube channel is incredibly hard, and every day thousands of people around the world put crazy amounts of effort into trying to do it. But the reason this challenge started was because when I went to make the whole get monetized on YouTube video and did my usual research to see the advice out there on it, I realized something. If I started again now, I'd pretty much do none of the things that we get told to do. I wouldn't devote much time to search. I probably wouldn't promote my videos outside of YouTube at all. I'd just focus on making videos for people, not algorithms. But let's face it, if I'd made a video saying
you should consider this method,
it's all just talk, right? So I thought, well, I'll start again and just document the process to getting 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours in an attempt to help new creators discover another way of doing things. So I set out to do just that, and the first thing to do was to set some goals. Okay, so my goal here isn't actually to get monetized. I think that's a bad goal because it forces you to chase viewers and subscribers, not the right kind of viewers and subscribers. So my first goal is to build a community of YouTube viewers who are all really interested in the content I make. I want as many mega fans of the topic as possible because I feel like these guys are just naturally going to be more likely to click on the content when they see it, as well as watch it for longer. And my plan to do this is to get YouTube to suggest the videos I make to these people. I'm not going to promote one video outside of YouTube because I believe this can actually be quite damaging, and also I think YouTube's better at knowing who to show our content to than we are most of the time. So I'm just going to keep this channel a complete secret. And I've decided another goal is to try and get more return viewers in a 28-day period than I have subscribers. Now that's not a secret hack of the algorithm or anything, and of course I want to keep getting new people come in, but I feel like return viewers to a channel are your community as they're active and subscribers aren't always. And YouTube shows you your return viewers in the back end. So to me, focusing on return viewers will help the channel get monetized, but also build the right kind of community to help it grow faster, in theory. So now I need to explain to you the strategy I would use that achieved monetization so fast. Now we're often taught that we should make videos for search in the beginning. You know, the kind of thing, how to do X videos with lots of keywords in the title. The problem is when 75% of views on YouTube come from suggested views, why would you ignore this? But the whole problem with that is though, suggested is a very different game. So let me explain. There's these things called traffic sources. This is data about where your videos are discovered on YouTube. So we have browse, and when you click it, you can see that's videos discovered on the homepage and subscription feed here and here. Suggested, which is those videos down the side of search, which you guessed it, is in search, and then others. But those are kind of the big three. But then each traffic source has its own algorithm. So if you get a high percentage of people click on your video when it's shown to them on the homepage, YouTube will then give that video more impressions on the homepage, which is this figure here, a very important figure. But at the same time, if that percentage is very low in suggested, YouTube will stop promoting that video in that part of YouTube. And that's it in its simplest form. And that's kind of the problem, because in many cases, you tend to see content made for search doesn't do that well in browse, which is also a big problem for building those repeat viewers, because they watch what's suggested to them. And getting suggested just requires a different approach. Now, to give you an example, let's say I'm going to make a video about how to recruit someone. A search-based video would be called how to hire a new recruit, because that's what people type into search, right? The problem with this is often when YouTube starts suggesting these videos as a test, let's say on the homepage, it's just not that interesting, is it? So a title written for an algorithm doesn't have the same impact on a human. So with suggested, you flip it and you call the video something like, doing this repels top talent. And it's all about writing titles that appeal to people, that intrigue more, rather than something that's full of keywords. By the way, I just paused this to let you know that you still will need some keywords, but they're not everything. So in order to do this well, you need to spend the time working out who your viewers are and what they really care about, because if you don't do that, you will never establish what it is they will click on. So to do this, you go through a process that's known as building an avatar. Avatars are common in marketing. The idea is you work out 1, 2, 3, or 4 different types of people who might be interested in your content or your service. And the more you learn about these people, the easier it is to come up with titles that they will click on, because they'll feel like you're talking directly to them. So to create an avatar, I put myself in my viewers' shoes and listed all of the things I thought they might care about. Their fears, their frustration, their age, location, how much they earn, what they did on the weekend, what they thought about the second they woke up. And I ended up with this spreadsheet. All right. So now let's look at their fears. Being stuck in the place they're in now in a few years' time, not being able to sell enough to get by, never making anything of themselves despite their best efforts, and falling behind the crowd. So can you see how Thinking about these things will give you the ability to come up with a title that this kind of people will be way more interested in clicking on. For example, struggling to sell your X, try this, is just so much more impactful than how to sell X online in 2021, the best selling tips ever. Using that exact structure on a video from the new channel, it picked up 13,000 views so far. The majority, as you can see, are from suggested and browse, and it's still moving in the right direction. So I then started researching other channels in the niche, looking for what they did that worked well, what types of videos did they make, how did they produce content, what questions did people have in the comments, and something happened that just completely threw me. So I've either just stumbled across something that's really good news or really bad news. Basically, all of the competition I've been checking out are kind of covering the same topic, and what I've realized is none of them are actually targeting the frustrations and the things that I've written down on my spreadsheet. In fact, I've not actually found one video talking about the things that I want to talk about and I think people want to know about. So what that could mean is there's just zero market at all for my idea. Or a more exciting option is that I've found a gap, because if there's some level of demand, I feel like this might be a winner. So armed with my avatars and my research, I then set out to plan my strategy. So here is my plan. Video 1 is going to target a breaking news item that will hopefully get the ball rolling, bring in a few views and build up the initial audience. Videos 2, 3 and 4, I'm going to target evergreen search terms. Video 5, that's when I'm going to hopefully target frustrations and interests and goals and all those things that I've put on that avatar sheet. The key here would be to make sure these videos worked with the videos that I had made before for search. Now, what I mean by that is this. If they find a video in search, what would be the next thing they would want to know about after watching that video? So I sat down and wrote up some title ideas and then started making the videos and got underway. And here's what happened. Video 1, targeting the news. So the first video got 200 views in 2 days. I did absolutely no promotion anywhere at all. And then as expected, it crashed a few days later and nothing else happened to it. Then video 2 tanked. 20 views in 2 months. Video 3, it was a real slow performer. For 12 days, it did pretty much nothing. And then at the same time, it took off in the search results and on the homepage and in suggested. So just bear that in mind. Sometimes it takes a little while for things to get going. And then my fourth release, also built for search and suggested. But this was the decisive moment here. And notice this one got picked up in search within a few hours, which to me says it's probably not a topic that well catered for, and people are looking for that information. So I decided to make more around that topic, and that then led me on to this bad boy, which now has over 41,000 views in 2 months. 10 days in, I built up 1,400 unique viewers, so I decided it was time to start targeting getting browse and suggested views. So remember I said that I'd noticed these other channels were not covering topics I thought that my target viewer or avatar would be interested in on my spreadsheet? Well, this next video, I thought it was time to test that out. I made a video on what I kind of thought their biggest issue would be that they would want solving. And I released it and it tanked, which was really frustrating. And that's a feeling I get pretty much every day on YouTube about this channel. So I moved on to try another idea based around a problem I thought they all had, and that didn't tank. It actually picked up 800 views in the first 24 hours, and then a day or so later, this happened. The previous video I thought would either crash or burn actually got picked up by browse and suggested, and wow. I'd found 2 topics in the same week that were a hit right next to each other, so I went and made more videos in that series, and they went on to do quite well too. And that brings us up to this moment. So YouTube had just emailed me and told me that I'm monetized, which is great because I only started my channel 6 weeks ago. Here's my watch time. I'm kind of shocked at how well this has worked. But the thing that really surprised me was I'd actually been making faceless videos before this point, so I was never actually on camera. Because things were going so well, I decided to get in front of the lens, and it just made the biggest difference. Suddenly my inbox was flooded. This is crazy. This is all the sponsorship emails I've received. All of these are from brands who have reached out for a sponsorship deal. I did not expect that. And that brings me up to where I was yesterday. So it's been just under 90 days now since I started the challenge. And did I hit the goals? Well, yes. Monetization happened in 6 weeks. And I'm going to show you my analytics. You can see that the channel has made £263 in ad revenue, which is about $370. But more importantly, in the last 28 days, my return viewers have been higher than the amount of subscribers I have, with just under 4,000 of them. I've currently got 3,200 subscribers. And probably the most unexpected thing is the whole sponsorship side of this, which was not even a thought in my mind at the beginning. And I'm about to start my 6th sponsored video. But there is something I need to tell you, because I'm not being 100% honest. See, I didn't actually start a new YouTube channel. I started 2. The other channel, I went for the traditional search-based strategy. Now, regular viewers will know a few months ago, I actually unlisted hundreds of videos from this channel that were ranking in search and bringing in quite a lot of views, but I removed them because I thought it was kind of attracting the wrong audience. So I re-uploaded them to this new channel. 4 months later, this is the result. 0 subscribers, and I kind of feel that speaks for itself, really. Now, I'm not saying search is dead or not to do it. You've seen that it played a part in this challenge, but actually spending the time on working out who your viewers are, what they care about, and how to write titles that really appeal to them as people, not algorithms, that's the thing I think you should consider looking at now. But let's not ignore the 2 elephants in the room, though. Firstly, it probably wouldn't be fair if I didn't make it crystal clear that if I'd not found this gap in the research phase, then this would not have happened as fast. But then again, that's why you should do the research, right? But also, the niche of the new channel is just way less competitive than the niche film booths in. I'm not competing against Peter McKinnon and some of the biggest and best video creators in the world. So there's no doubt that the niche was a lot easier than film booths. And secondly, I've been making videos since I was 14, so 5 years, 21 years. So for this project, I didn't have to learn how to film, write, edit, produce, present, and all of the things that new channels have to learn to do before they can make any real progress and get the kind of retention and click-through rates that you need for this to work so well. And that's a valid lesson because YouTube's just not a level playing field. But most importantly, if you want to give your channel the best fighting chance possible of doing something like this, then you need to learn to make the best videos you can. That's why you need to watch this video next, because I used every tip that's in this video. Oh, and of course, if you're wondering what my channel was, well, I still don't want the wrong people turning up to watch it, so maybe you'll bump into me another time.